Hi, Witchfinger. Hi.
Oh, hi. Now we're saying hi to ourselves. Hi.
Oh, hi, Witchfinger.
Hi,
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is the Witchfinger Horror Podcast, and I am Yasmina. And to my right is Morgan.
Hello.
And to my left is Megan.
Hi.
And tonight we are watching Chopping Mall.
Chopping Mall.
And this is actually really exciting because Morgan has never seen it.
I have never seen this movie before.
That's very shocking.
We just said that.
To confirm, I have never seen this movie
I can't
before.
believe you've never seen this movie. Like,
No.
How did you coast through your teenage years of obsession of, bad 80s horror movies?
I
and
don't
skip
know.
this
Honestly,
one?
it's never really been on my radar. I mean,
The poster's pretty iconic.
The poster
yeah,
is
I've
so
known of the movie.
iconic.
I've seen the cover many, many times, but I just never watched the movie. I don't know.
It's definitely one of those movie covers that always popped out for me at the video rental store, like this, popcorn.
Night of the Creeps for
Yeah.
me is another movie. Yeah. Oh.
It took me a while to actually watch Chopping Mall, though. Like, I didn't watch it until my 20s, I don't think, but it's pretty entertaining. It's got some interesting facts about it that we will get to eventually. We've got pizza burps, so apologies for this episode. We ordered a pizza, we're drinking beer and having pizza and watching Chopping Mall. Like, life is good. Can't complain. But yeah, so Chopping Mall. Okay, so these two, they just showed the commercial for the Killbot, and it annihilated a shoplifter. And right now they're explaining the presentation to, I'm assuming, the staff of the mall. But these two people that are sitting right here at the front, there's a lot of cameos in this movie.
Yes.
As well. So they are the first two cameos. And the woman's name is Mary Warrenov. And she's in a bunch of shit. She's in Terror Vision, Night of the Comet. Oh my god, I've been drinking. It's a Sunday night and we all have tomorrow off. Actually, Megan has to work tomorrow, but it's a long weekend, family day. Is there a family day in America, or is it?
I think it's President's Day.
It
in
is.
America.
But it's a long weekend for them too.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to Mary. She was also in Warlock.
Yeah. She does look very
My friend,
familiar to me.
Julian Sands.
She's in what?
Warlock.
Oh, Warlock. Or they said, never mind.
Orlok?
Yep. Yeah. I was like,
Count
what's
Orlok.
Count Orlok. But she also plays the mom in the Suicidal Tendencies video for Institutionalized.
Cool.
Yeah,
my
with
goodness.
Jack Nance is also
That's
from,
awesome.
Eraserhead is also in that as well. And the guy, his name is Paul Bartel, and he's in Gremlins 2 and Killer Party. April, what do you do? It's such a good song. That's funny because we were just listening to that song by White Sister. And
what a terrible
that
band
is it. Was
name.
it
Yeah, bad.
White
name.
Sister?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, that is kind of weird. But they were like the band to go to for 80s horror movie soundtracks.
yeah,
Like,
totally.
They did a song for The Wraith. They did the song from Killer Party. But that fucking video for April is so good. And that, is it Anti-CGI that posted it today?
Yes.
If you guys don't follow Anti-CGI on Instagram, you definitely should. And they posted that today. And I was like, well, I'm going to be listening to this all day. But yeah, so... okay, so Chopping Mall came out in 1986, and it was directed by Jim Wynorski. There's some interesting things about Jim.
Jim is a very interesting character.
Yes, Jim is an odd duck. It was written by Jim and Steve Mitchell. I didn't really find anything very interesting about Steve Mitchell other than the fact that he wrote a Gem episode, which is important to me because Gem rocked my world.
Yeah,
when I
like
was
there
a
wasn't
kid.
a lot of like personal information about Steve Mitchell
Yeah,
out there.
no, I didn't really see anything, honestly, aside from the Gem episode that he did. And I was like, oh, Gem, oh.
Yeah, like he actually did a lot of 80s cartoons.
Outrageous.
He did
Whoa, Gem.
G.I. Joe cartoon writing and also Transformers as well. He did some of that. And I thought it was funny that pretty much all of his other credits, his directing credits, were all about Chopping Mall.
Interesting.
Every single directing credit of his was shorts or documentaries about Chopping Mall.
Yeah, there
Like
are
5 or 6 of
a
them.
few documentaries about this about this movie.
That's really interesting because I feel like there are way more iconic movies that have zero documentaries about them.
Totally.
I know, right?
Yeah, like all the ones that Steve Mitchell directed was like Army of One, A Visit with Chopping Mall's Biggest Fan, Back to the Mall, Chopping Mall, Scoring Chopping Mall, Talking About the Killbots, The Robot
crazy.
Speaks, 10 Questions with the Killbots, and Chopping Mall, Creating the Killbots. Now, I'm assuming some of these are going to be shorts for like extra stuff for maybe a Blu-ray or something like that.
Well,
but
there
one
is
of them
Blu-ray.
actually is a full-length documentary about Chopping Mall's biggest fan.
It's probably on the Vestron Blu-ray release that just came out.
There's a
like,
whole
not too long
fucking
ago.
documentary about their biggest fan.
Yes.
Really?
Army of One, A Visit with Chopping Mall's Biggest Fan.
So is a documentary about the movie or about the fan?
I don't know. Probably a little bit about both.
I'm curious.
Interesting.
Also, was the mall ever that exciting where there were actually
Yes.
naked
Yes, Morgan.
Yeah,
Yes.
in the 80s.
Yes.
Do you remember that link I sent you, Morgan, at work that was just an article that was just pictures of
The
malls
malls? Yeah.
in the 80s?
Fabulous.
It
They were a big
brings
deal.
me joy. It actually, I do love the 80s. It's my favorite decade for sure. But yeah, the mall is what you did. That's,
I used
Where
to
the
watch
action
videos of
was.
what's that lady's name? Lady. She was like the Tiffany, the Britney
Oh,
Spears.
yeah,
like
man.
she
Yeah.
played in malls.
Yeah.
Like,
That's how she got famous.
Hanson played
Yeah.
in malls.
yeah,
Like,
man.
yeah.
I think we're alone now. Oh, and there's a poster for Slumber Party Massacre in
And
this
Lost
restaurant.
Empire.
Oh, yeah.
Which was Wynorski's first movie, was it
Oh,
not?
my God.
I find it fun that they put all of that in there.
Well,
That
the
was-
Lost Empire, I sent you guys the trailer in our group chat yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like basically just like a movie about boobs.
It looks amazing.
Tassels and snake petting.
Yeah.
Like, there's like this guy who's just constantly petting a
Looks
snake.
amazing.
And
Oh
that
my
woman's
God.
tassel outfit is just amazing.
Like Barbarian Queen is a poster in the back there.
Yeah, there's a lot
there's
of
so many.
He did a few fantasy barbaric movies back then too, but Chopping Mall was also produced by Julie Corman, who is Roger's wife, and they had a deal with Vestron to make a movie set in a mall, and Jim agreed to write it if he could direct it. So the original title was Killbots, and it was actually released as Killbots.
Yeah.
And it didn't do well, so then they changed the name to Chopping Mall, and it was actually a suggestion from a janitor.
That's what I saw too. That sounds
One of the
kinda
janitors
crazy.
at the mall suggested it. I was like, that's pretty funny. I like Killbots too, though. I like both titles, but I guess Chopping Mall is it's more comical, I guess.
Oh, for sure. Well, I think too that from what I saw, apparently a lot of the test audiences kind of thought that with the name Killbots, it was going to be more like a Transformers, children's
Yeah,
movie.
they thought it was going to be for kids.
Yeah.
Instead of a violent exploitation movie. So when they re-released it as Chopping Mall with 15 minutes cut from the movie, it actually
Yeah.
did better. Just based on the title alone, which kind of sounds a little weird.
Yeah.
Because the content is pretty much the same.
Well, I
but-
I couldn't find any information about what it made at the box office,
No,
but
I know. It wasn't good.
it wasn't good, but the budget was around $800,000.
Yeah.
IMDb gives it a 5.6 and Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 57%. I've definitely, me and Megan, we've seen this movie a couple times. This is Morgan's first time watching it. It's definitely not a movie that I've seen a million times, like The Gate or Fright Night or anything like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, for sure.
I definitely remember it. It's up there in my top list of the greatest horror movies of the 80s for sure.
Well, I just love any movie where within the first 5 minutes, I've seen 3 fucking people smoking cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
At their
Or
place
tits.
of work.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just love that. The guy working at the diner, the cook at the diner was just smoking a
I know,
butt.
how
Yeah,
yes!
I know.
Oh
Yeah,
my
ashes
God.
falling into your fucking pancakes.
I love the
Fuck.
80s.
I know, me too.
Oh, and everyone's looking at titty magazines.
He's
Who looks at
looking
titty
at-
magazines anymore?
Exactly.
No one.
I know, right?
No, because you
one.
just go on the internet to get
Yeah.
your porn.
You just
But-
go on Pornhub.
Yeah, but this is back then when you could pet the page.
I know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess you could pay your phone screen.
Oh God! I could talk a whole episode about Pornhub, and I'm not even about to start. I can't even start.
Oh, don't let us stop you, man.
No,
Oh
please,
my
Megan.
God!
Please indulge us. Go on.
Sex isn't really like that. My sex life is a sham.
It's okay. We still love you.
Oh God! Thank you.
Well, I find this movie kind of interesting because they were robots designed to assassinate shoplifters.
Well, but okay,
And-
so they're killbots. That's what they're called, right? Are you going to kill a perpetrator shoplifting
I
at the
guess
fucking
so.
mall?
Yeah.
Like,
guess.
that's crazy. crazy.
But it's kind of funny, like the parallel between this movie and Short Circuit. It's the they're the same, but they're the complete opposite. So they both get struck by lightning, whereas in Chopping Mall they were nice turned evil, whereas like Short Circuit, what Johnny Five, is that fucking robot's
Johnny
name?
Five is alive.
Oh god, I hate that. I hate that robot.
that?
I do. Honestly, when I was a kid, I always hated
Short
him.
Circuit's on my fucking list.
Oh man, I always fucking.
yeah, I'm not
I
a
just
huge
love
fan.
that they hired a white guy to play.
Oh, that's
the
absurd.
Indian.
Yeah,
I know, right?
No, that was absurd.
Look, well, the 80s.
It's
so
funny
racist.
because I actually
Yeah,
didn't even
racist.
realize that he was a white guy, like dressed like
I didn't know
with
that
the
either
makeup
until-
until later on in life. Like,
Yeah,
when
me
I was
too.
a kid, I
Yeah.
thought he was.
Yeah, well, because he has the accent and everything. And the only reason why I know that is because I was watching Aziz Ansari on Conan O'Brien, and he was like commenting about that. He's like, yeah, like I always thought Short Circuit was the stupidest movie ever, and I just thought it was stupid just because I hated the robot and I hated his voice.
Yeah.
But like Aziz was saying, he was it was just bullshit. They hired this white guy to be like this
Yeah.
like, brown guy, and he even like talks with an accent and everything. It's just,
Yeah.
like, what the fuck, Hollywood?
Super,
But that shit happened a
super
lot back
absurd.
then, though.
It
Like,
happens a lot now. Look at all the
Trading
Greek,
Places.
the Greek movies, like all these Greek god movies where they have British people playing like the Greek gods. You know,
Yeah.
like it's just brutal.
Or Scarlett Johansson in Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, don't even. We can go on. We're
There
not
was
about
so
to.
much controversy about
I-
that.
I didn't know
Oh
any of
my
that.
god,
That was a
so
great
much
movie, though. I
controversy.
will admit, though, that movie
Yeah.
was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I mean,
But Johnny Five was originally like a military kind of killing machine, but then he gets struck by lightning, and then he's like this like friendly robot.
Yeah,
They're like the same plot, but in reverse.
yeah, pretty much.
It's kind of funny. I never noticed that because I just, every time Short Circuit was on TV when I was a kid, I would always just turn it off. I'd be like, fuck that robot, man. I
Oh
hated
my
him.
god,
hated
I
him.
loved
I
that
hated
movie.
him.
I love it. It was so cute.
I just thought he was so annoying. I guess, like, and I have that thing with BB from Deadly Friend, too. His voice is the worst.
No disassemble.
He's just like, like, he doesn't even say words. He's just like, BB.
I feel like I can't relate to robots, and so
That's good. That's what makes us human.
and so
my
I've
God.
never been a huge fan of robot movies.
Well,
but-
I am.
Oh my
and
God,
then, like,
yeah.
we'll get into it later. We're gonna talk about all cyborg robot
Yes.
related movies later. So for now, let's talk about Jim Wynorski.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so
Jim's a wild and crazy guy.
wild
and crazy guy.
Okay, so Jim, B-movie exploitation director since the 80s with over 100 titles under his belt. Chopping Mall was his second movie, the first being that Lost Empire movie with the snake petting and the boobs. He has also done many other movies in the horror genre, like Sorority House Massacre 2. I've actually never seen the Sorority House Massacre movie. Slumber Party Massacre, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so 976 Evil 2. I didn't
Yeah.
know that he did that movie. Okay, that movie, we're watching Chopping Mall on this, like, DVD that has, like, 8 movies on it, and 976 Evil 2 is on it. And
Interesting.
976 Evil is one of my favorite 80s horror movies, and I watched a scene of the second one on YouTube once, and I was like, no.
No way.
But now I'm kind of like, you know what? Maybe
might have to check it
maybe
out.
I'll try to watch it. I'll try. It's just like the clip that I saw was just like, I don't know, man, nothing like the first one, and it looked bad. But he also did the Munchie movies,
Yeah.
which I still haven't seen.
They
but I
look
know how
so
absurd they look.
ridiculous.
I know. He did Ghoulies 4, which is the only Ghoulies I've never seen, but I
Interesting.
really want to because it's the one that has like the sexy vinyl latex lady.
Yes.
On the cover of the movie, and maybe I think this is a good year. I'm gonna find it on VHS this year.
We can only
2018.
hope.
Gonna find Ghoulies 4 on VHS.
Oh God.
Another thing that I love about this man is his like passion and love for boobs.
Yeah.
He fucking loves tits.
Yeah.
He's a tit man. So he does all of these horror parody movies,
Yeah.
but makes them about breasts. They're so fucking funny.
So yeah, they're like
titles,
exploitation softcore porn. Oh my god, I was cracking up.
I was laughing so hard when I was doing
let's
some
read some of
research.
them. We have, well, just to start off with, like, this guy's all over the place, first of all. So he's doing, like, horror. He did Deathstalker 2.
Yeah, which I love Deathstalker 1.
Yeah, and he also did, like, the Ghoulies and stuff, but then he did The Bear Wench Project.
Yeah.
And Thy Neighbor's Wife. And Alabama Jones and the Busty Crusade. And The Witches of Breastwick.
Yeah, the
That
Breastford Wives.
Amazing.
The Da Vinci Coed. House on Hooter Hill.
No! Yeah. No! Dude, fucking busty cops.
Cleavage Field.
Cleavage Field? This one's my favorite, though.
The hills have thighs.
I, actually kind of want to sit down and watch one of those. Like,
Oh
they
my god.
look...
The
just
Lusty
the titles.
Busty Babacue. That's
Oh, man.
another one.
The
Alright,
Hills
so-
Have Thighs got me.
So just wait though. These are
They're like parody.
they're parody.
But
Now-
they're softcore porn.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
like,
thank you.
Yes.
They're pornos.
Yes.
So they're like
I'm
your Edward
assuming,
penis
like,
hands.
softcore?
Like,
Yeah.
I don't...
Are they
Yeah, they
like
are
that? Are
softcore,
they
yeah.
full
Yeah, but
blown
are
like
they
that?
fucking? Is
That's
my
what I
question.
mean,
No, I
like,
think it's
are they-
softcore. It's gonna
Okay.
be like
Red
exploitation
Shoe Diaries,
softcore.
like
Oh, okay, because
petting.
Yeah.
Edward
Heavy
Penis
petting.
Hands is
Yeah.
a porn.
Right,
Like,
that's what
Edward
it- yeah.
Penis
Yeah.
Hands is
Not. It's
one
not
of the
gonna be
best
like
porns.
violent penetration like type stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Do you think it's gonna be romantic?
I don't know.
Like, oh, I'm yelling.
Does that even matter? For a movie called The Breastford Wives. Is there any romance in it?
Yeah, like, is there love? Are there love?
Okay,
I don't
but this
know.
guy also has done a few like crazy monster kind of mashup movies too, like Piranaconda.
Oh yes, I
Oh.
love movies like that. Really, what?
Well, and that makes sense because he kind of found his way in film with working with Roger Corman, so they're very alike, I
Yeah,
assume.
I think so. Yeah. Also Cobra Gator.
Okay, I want to. Jesus.
I looked at the cover of Piranaconda and it's literally a giant anaconda with a piranha head,
Do you
like
think...
eating people in fucking waters.
Do you
It
think
looks
that he
silly.
has like a bag with like pieces of paper of different animals? Like,
So like
pressed
what
out,
what you can stick
and
together?
then pulls out two, and it's just like, like fucking like shark mantipus movie.
Yeah.
Also, we're at the part with Garrett Graham. Garrett Graham is a legend. I think, Megan, you were there that year that one Shockstock, the horror convention in our city of London. He was there.
Yeah.
I met him. Very, very nice fucking guy. Garrett
Oh,
Graham.
so sweet.
Yeah,
Oh
he
my
is,
God.
he's in Phantom of the Paradise, which is like, I'm not like huge into the musicals.
Same.
Like, I do love Rocky Horror Picture Show. I like grew up with it, but Phantom of the Paradise is actually like a fucking fantastic movie. I'm pretty sure it's Brian De Palma, but he's also in TerrorVision as well, Child's Play 2, and Chud 2, which I've never seen.
Never seen
Yeah.
it. Never
But
seen
it's
it.
also on this DVD.
So yeah, this movie also has a ridiculous amount of amazing taglines. Actually,
Actually, we were talking about how good the taglines were in the House episode, but the taglines in Chopping Mall, like,
there's
far
so many
superior.
of them too.
Yeah.
There's like, okay, tonight, Park Plaza Mall switches on the world's toughest security force. Absolutely nothing can go wrong.
Yeah, that's a long one.
It is. We have shopping will never be the same, where shopping can cost you an arm and a leg.
That is
Yeah.
so good.
That's a good one.
So good.
That's a good one. Shopping Mall, where they slash their prices and their customers
In half.
Buy or Die is also
Nah.
another one. At Park Plaza Mall, the security force isn't just tight, it's terrifying.
It's toy. It's not just tight. It's toy.
Toy, brother.
And one more, shop till you drop. Dead.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah, that's a good one,
But
too.
why are there so fucking many?
I know.
Because you can go so
It's
many ways.
It's a very good combination with the killing of like robots and the mall. Like, I feel like they came up with all of these because it's like it's two subjects that like worked like in contrast and like juxtaposition together very well. I
Yeah.
find.
Well,
Like,
yeah, there's a lot of like shop till you drop type, like,
Yeah. Well, because the malls are
Lines.
like where all the action was, and like that's what everybody
Well,
did in the
that's
80s,
where you
right?
meet
So
up,
there was
right?
like
Yeah.
taglines like that shop till you drop, like that already existed. So then they just like ad-libbed the rest.
And I feel like it works perfectly because what are 80s horror movies all about? They're all about teenagers getting fucked, like getting
Yep.
killed
Yeah.
or having sex or
Like
whatever.
having
And
sex
where
and
did
getting
teenagers
killed.
hang out in the 80s? The
At the
mall.
mall.
It just
I
makes
know.
perfect
yeah,
sense.
for sure. Well, back to Jim. Like, I love that the whole obsession with tits and his parody films. Like, I'm gonna quote him. He said that breasts are the cheapest special effects in our business.
They are
Which
special.
is like, yes,
They're
Very
effective
special.
too.
and they're effective. Genius.
Oh shit!
Actually, a character from the first Final Destination movie was named after him. The guy,
Really?
his name is Hunt Wynorski, and I haven't seen that movie in a really long time.
No.
But it's the pool scene. He gets killed in the pool. I'm not sure.
That's
like,
cool.
Yeah. It's been a while. The only scene I remember from Final Destination, the first one, is like the one in the shower when he
That's
gets
a
choked.
scary one. I don't think there is a pool scene in the first one.
I don't know.
I mean, there must be.
The internet says so, so it
Yeah,
must be.
there
It
true.
must be true.
I mean, there
Yeah.
must be.
Well, Jim actually, he does the voice of the Killbots. Yeah, and him and Steve, they've been friends since the 70s. They decided to do a Phantom of the Mall like type movie, but with robots,
Which is
And,
amazing
like,
because there actually is a Phantom of the Mall movie.
Eric's Revenge. I actually really enjoyed that movie. I'm not gonna lie. Like Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge. I'm pretty sure it's like Pauly Shore's like first movie. It's on YouTube. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was not bored at all. Is it Morgan Fairchild that's in it?
Yes.
Ooh,
yeah,
yeah.
she's in it as well.
She's
Her fucking
great.
amazing hair. But yeah, so Jim was inspired by a movie called Gog from 1954, where a man discovers experimental robots in a secret lab. And they wrote the story in 24 hours. And
Which is
Vestron-
crazy.
Yeah, I know, which is crazy because I'm working on a script right now. And it took me like days to come up with the story, like to get it like perfect together.
Yeah.
Like, and then, so Vestron approved it without a script, which is kind of rad. So Roger Corman took Jim out to lunch before shooting began and wrote like film school in an hour notes on like yellow pads of paper. And apparently Jim still has these pads of paper till this day and has them like memorized. They're like do's and don'ts, and he still kept them after all these years, which is adorable. So a fun fact about Jim, during the filming of Chopping Mall, he actually broke a rib because they had to test out a stunt where the character gets thrown from the third floor. So they were like, okay, well, he was like, I'll do it, but I'll get thrown from the second floor. So he did it, and then he broke a rib. But even like the test was successful, but he didn't tell anyone about it and like kept it hidden until after.
His little ribby?
Yeah, he like
Aw.
didn't want to worry anybody, so he didn't say anything until afterwards, and like no one knew that he broke his rib.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's hardcore.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah. Apparently, too, there are a lot of people that have, I wouldn't want to say accused, but maybe speculated that when Jim Wynorski had written this movie that he based it off of the film Trapped as well.
Yeah, and I looked that movie up too, but he was like allegedly didn't know about
He said,
that
yeah,
movie.
he said that he'd never seen it before, but it's with James Brolin, and it's about a man who's trapped in a mall and chased by vicious guard dogs. So a similar thing, guard dogs replaced
Okay,
with
so I actually
robots.
I watched a clip of that movie on YouTube, and it's rotten.
It's bad?
Like it's really bad. Like it was like filmed with like a VHS camcorder. Like it's, but and like at the same time, I was like,
God.
yeah, this is like it's like bad, but it's like yeah.
Well, what was
this is
that
pretty
movie,
cool.
you guys, that you guys had me watch? I feel like one of the last times that we recorded together, and there was like a shower scene, and there was like a doll, and it was recorded with like a camcorder type of thing, and it was like a doll.
Oh my God,
killing
fucking-
people. It was our last.
Oh,
episode.
Devil Doll?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
Was it
yeah,
like that?
yeah.
Like, oh.
No, actually, well,
okay.
it was like
So,
that.
and it's a TV movie, so that's probably why
Yeah,
it's so bad.
yeah, the TV movie.
So
It,
bad.
like it looked pretty bad. Also, Dick Miller is showing up here. Dick Miller, what an adorable man.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Demon Knight.
He actually, yes, fuck yeah, Demon Knight,
Fuck
man.
yeah,
like,
Demon
fuck yeah.
Knight.
I was doing my notes on this, and I was like, man, I'm gonna watch Demon Knight again. I've seen it like a million times, and it's still so good.
Billy Zane.
Billy Zane. Gorgeous. The only bald man that I've ever found attractive was Billy Zane. But yeah, Dick Miller, he's actually playing the same character
You
that
don't
he
find
played
Steve
in...
Harvey's fucking smoking hot? Steve Harvey's bald goddamn head and his sweet
I
suit.
wish our podcast listeners could see my face right
Girl!
Like Steve Harvey,
Like
the Family Feud host.
What other bald man am I talking about?
I don't know. I just want to make sure there's the same Steve
like
Harvey.
I need to take my shirt off. I'm hot right now.
now. Okay, well, this is something that I have never known about you, Megan.
She's got
And,
it bad. So
Now I'm never going to forget.
she's hot for Steve Harvey.
Wow. I've never, ever heard anyone say that Steve Harvey was sexy. That is hilarious. You make me laugh.
You know what? Whatever.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Billy Zane.
But-
Anyways.
yes. Dick Miller. So Dick Miller was actually playing the same character that he plays in Bucket of Blood.
Which is fun. That's so
Yeah. So obviously he's in Demon Knight, Night of the Creeps, The Howling, the Gremlins movies. But yeah, he's an adorable man.
Yeah, lots of fun, like, cameo, like, kind of reprisals of roles and stuff like that in this movie. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's neat.
Well, it was filmed at Sherman Oaks Galleria, and which is the same mall that Fast Times at Ridgemont High was shot at, and I do love that movie as well. And Commando,
Yeah, which is
also
awesome.
a big fucking fan of Commando. He's dead tired. I lied. But yeah, they wanted to apparently use the mall in Beverly Hills, but they charged too much, so they just used some of the scenes for the exterior. Also, those tits are giant.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, this guy, he's always fucking
chomping
chewing
on gum the whole
He's
time.
Always, his name is John Terlesky. His character's name is Mike. He's always chewing gum in every single fucking scene of this movie. And he is also in Death Stalker 2.
Yeah.
The connections are real.
I know.
Too
I watched the
fucking
first
much.
Death Stalker and I was like blown away. Like basically the whole movie is just like titties and rape and like fucking snakes and swords and shit. Like your typical 80s like fantasy movie. But it was like so fucking entertaining. Like it was just like every 5 minutes you'd be like, oh, there's some more tits. Cool.
Awesome.
But this guy, John Terlesky, is also in, I think he's now more of a TV director, but he was also in a V episode.
Yeah.
So
I actually recognize him.
I don't recognize him at
In a
all,
what
except for
episode?
this V.
V,
Remember that
you
show
know?
V? It's
No,
a
girl.
sci-fi show where like
Lizard people, aliens.
lizard people like want to like take over the world. It actually, for any V fans out there, they're fucking making a new V, and it's going to be a trilogy of movies. So it's like Lord of the Rings type of thing. So
Now this was a show.
yes, it was
It
like
was-
late 70s,
it
early
was-
80s.
Was it like kind of like X-Files type of thing? Or like,
No,
No,
it
it
was a
was-
mini-series, and then there was also a movie, like, there was V, The Final Battle, and then the mini-series.
Okay.
And then the first, I think, movie.
Lizard people.
So, yeah, it's just
Whoa.
about, like, V for visitors. So they
Oh,
come
okay.
to Earth, they fucking hover their UFOs around or whatever, and then they make contact, and they look human.
Right.
And they try to integrate themselves into society. Actually, in
As
the...
most lizard people do.
Yes, exactly. Well, actually, it's funny because a lot of people reference V as like the like
love it.
Anunnaki conspiracy
I know,
kind
man.
of stuff.
I
or whatever.
love that shit.
The lizard
I
people.
love
Yeah.
it.
But Robert Englund
Like
is
some
in
Illuminati shit.
Robert Englund is in this
Oh.
series.
Yes, yeah.
And yeah, so it turns out that they actually eat like animals, and they like peel their faces off, and they're lizards,
Sweet.
and
Yeah.
they
Sweet.
have an agenda that is not so friendly. They're pretending to be friendly, and it's not friendly.
Cool, man. Are we about...
Oh no, Mike's gonna die. His gum chewing days are over.
Oh, actually, Megan, I have V on DVD if you'd ever want to borrow
Sharesies.
it.
Absolutely.
I would like
of
to. I
course.
need to rewatch it anyways.
Yeah, when I'm done TNG, I'm almost finished. I'm gonna rewatch V.
John Terlesky actually also had directed a movie with Jim Wynorski.
Oh.
Yes. He made his, because I know he had, like, after he stopped acting, he started doing a lot of directing for TV shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Grey's Anatomy, Criminal Minds, stuff like that. But in 1998, he made a movie with Jim Wynorski called The Pandora Project, which starred Daniel Baldwin.
Oh, the
like,
other one.
third or fourth in line
That's
Baldwin.
funny.
You
Actually,
know,
I'm
there's
pretty
like
sure-
Alec and
Is he the
Steven
one-
and Billy
Is he the
and
one in
Daniel.
Vampires?
Oh, I thought... Wait,
I don't know.
Wait.
There's many
List
of
them
them.
again. Alec, I know.
Alec.
Steven. Was he the one in Biodome?
Biodome.
Okay,
Yes,
so
and
it's
then there's
not
Billy
that one.
Baldwin and Daniel Baldwin.
Well,
And there might be one more, but I don't
Daniel
know.
was the one that was in John Carpenter's Vampires. That's like the only thing that I know him from.
Yeah.
Now, was he good in that movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
no, he was. I really enjoyed that movie actually a lot. Like, you can't go wrong with James Woods.
I mean,
No, that movie's
he's a
great.
Baldwin. It's an acting dynasty.
Yeah.
Man, speaking of President's Day, Alec Baldwin's Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah, I know.
The
mean,
best.
there's no topping it.
The best.
It's
huge.
Oh, I feel
but
bad for all
Stephen
you cool
Baldwin, I
Americans.
just can't. I mean, his role in Biodome is just so pathetic.
Oh, fuck, I know. But you know what?
It's so
Every
pathetic.
girl would suck his dick
Yeah.
back then, man.
He had a
like,
thick neck, man. I thought I was going somewhere else.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were going to say thick shaft.
He's sick.
That's funny. Whatever. I don't love Steve Harvey. that's gonna be with you for till the day you die.
There's something about what a man wears. Okay. that man
I have never really
wears-
watched Family Feud with him, I guess. So
You
I'll
gotta
have
be
to research this.
Kidding me.
That's
Oh,
so funny.
Lord
You're
in
hilarious.
heaven.
Oh no.
Anyways, oh no, the ketchup is flying.
I know. Okay, so
Oh, no.
the mall actually that this movie was shot in, they allowed them to shoot under the circumstances that they don't damage anything, and they'd be gone before the mall opened the next morning at 9.
So they had to film all night.
Yeah, so they only shot like in the middle of the night. So apparently the head of security hated them and claimed that they damaged shit, but the mall owner was very supportive and nice and made sure that they finished on schedule and everything.
that guy.
Yeah, I know, like, get the fuck out of here. He
What a
probably,
dick.
Yeah, he's probably one of those people that were like, violent movies cause violence in children. But yeah, so there are 3 main robots in the movie. They built 5 to have extra in case they were damaged. They made them out of wheelchair parts and conveyor belts operated by remote controls.
Which is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
'Cause
thinking
they're
the same
pretty
thing because
convincing.
they look. I don't know how I would say this, like flawless almost. Like they don't look like there's parts hanging out, or
Yeah.
like they don't look like they're
Yeah.
homemade. I guess I'm saying.
Like there's no like fucking furnace. Fucking, Did we talk about that? I feel like we talked about that in the last episode.
What?
No. Oh no, we talked about that.
The furnace tubes.
Yeah. Oh fuck, what movie was it that had the furnace fucking tube neck thing?
Guys, I'm always so fucking drunk when we do this shit.
I know, right?
You gotta be kidding
What
me.
movie was it? Oh, I remember what it was.
What?
Okay, it was in Rotor, which we'll talk about
Oh,
later.
I got shit to say about Rotor.
Because at the precinct, the police or headquarters or whatever the fuck it is, where the guy unveils like the rotor, there's like a robot there that is like a helper robot, like police robot,
Right.
and he's got like a fucking like a fucking furnace fucking connector fucking
Yeah.
for a neck, and it's just
I just
it's
love
so
it.
cheap.
I love it. Like the cheapest way to make a movie is like what is so entertaining to me. It's like some of these movies that we watch, like, okay, these movies like that we do on the podcast, like they're great movies. But like me and Morgan, like we watch like really bad movies.
We have watched
like, on
very
our,
bad
on our spare
movies.
time.
Yeah.
And like it's like some of them are just like intentionally bad with like bad acting and like implausible plot holes and like just like bad special effects and everything. And it's like they're so bad that it's like at that point they didn't realize what they were doing, and it makes it entertaining and funny now. But then there's like the ones that are just like so absurd that they didn't give a fuck, they didn't give a shit, they just like they're like, who cares, like let's just use ketchup. Like,
Yeah.
So fucking
Yeah.
bad. Oh my
But
god.
the other day, fuck it, we'll just talk about Rotor now.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so Rotor is like one of my favorite movies. It's basically like the worst like RoboCop ripoff movie ever.
But it's also a Terminator ripoff.
Yeah, and it's okay. So Rotor stands for Robotic Officer Tactical Operation Research.
So basically a bunch of fucking words just stuck together
I
because
know.
it sounded
And
cool.
it was directed by Cullen Blaine, who has done Rotor and kids cartoons. It's like he's done cartoons. And then Rotor. It's like seriously fucking like one of the worst movies I've ever seen. But it's like but it's so bad.
It's very watchable.
It's so watchable. Like, it's so entertaining. It's just hilarious. Like, so I'm actually going to read a review, very short, by a guy named Mike Lamb. He wrote it in, like, 2013. And I was looking up, like, the best worst movies of the 80s. And it was the first one on the list. And it was just so funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, now I'm, like, determined to watch every single movie on that list. But he says... Rotor is the story of a cowboy/police captain/robot scientist named Cold Iron. That's his name.
Oh my God.
Cold Iron, who invents a Judge Dredd style Terminator/RoboCop type thing to murder criminals in the future. The robot is called Rotor, which stands for robotic something something gibberish bullshit. Who cares? Like any good 80s action figure, Rotor comes with a gun, a motorcycle, a pair of sunglasses, and a mustache.
Oh yeah,
It's so
he's got a
good.
fucking mustache. He's like somebody's fucking, like they hired somebody's fucking dad. Like straight up, he's not even like a giant imposing guy, like not a muscly guy.
He's just a
he's
dude.
like
He's like a dad.
dad
Dude,
bod
I
mustache
Yeah.
guy. And the scene in the boardroom where Cold Iron is like unveiling Rotor. Where he's like, watch this, and there's
he's
like,
like
a
this, like,
stop
ridiculous
animation,
cyborg.
like animation,
He's
stop
like-
animation, plastic skeleton doing like martial arts moves.
Yeah, but stop
It's-
animation's badass.
Yeah,
I know, it's awesome.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why you have to watch Rotor.
Okay.
Oh, fuck,
Okay.
it's
it's
so good.
so
I love it. And
fucking
like the
funny.
cover of Rotor is basically like a complete rip-off of the Mad Max poster. It's the exact
yeah, it's almost
same.
exactly
Oh,
the
I
same.
saw
but
that.
it's
Looking it
complete-
up?
It's the
Oh, I
flip-
saw
the
that.
flip
But
of
Yeah.
it.
so I was trying to look up Rotor because I wanted to see the guy with the mustache, which I did. And then I found Rotor, Robot Tai Chi. And it's just pictures.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
the cyborg that they show in the conference.
Yes, that's
it's
it.
so
Like-
good. We'll watch it later. Like,
He's
I
doing
love
like
it.
martial
This
arts, and
is
it is
amazing.
it's fucking great. But yeah,
Yeah.
Rotor is very very entertaining and
Highly recommended.
Yes,
Very
please
highly
watch it.
recommended.
It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah. Well, the main girl in Chopping Mall, Kelly Maroney, who plays Allison, she actually did her own stunts in this movie.
That's
and
pretty cool.
she's also the little sister in Night of the Comet. And
little sister. Sorry, go ahead.
it's all good. Sing away. But interesting little tidbit of her character in Night of the Comet. You've seen Night of the Comet, obviously. You know how she wears that cheerleader outfit during the whole movie? That is what inspired Joss Whedon to write Buffy. So
God
Buffy,
bless that.
I know, like
Wow.
her character was
Okay.
actually like hugely inspired by her character in Night of the Comet. Yeah, so this is actually kind of interesting. Jim Wynorski actually purposely cast her because he had a crush on her.
Oh, you pig.
I know, but they dated actually for a while after. But
He probably
there was
harassed
a
her
girl.
until-
Yeah, but there was a girl, Dana Kimmel, who is the really pretty brunette in Friday 13th Part 3. And one of my favorite like 90s movies, Night Angel, which is awesome. And she left the movie because of the sexual content. And then he was like, well, I have a crush on this girl, Kelly Maroney. Like, I'm going to get her in the movie. And best way to, like, get her to go on a date with me is to give her a role in my movie. So that's what happened.
right?
But she's also in Fast Times at Ridgemont High as well. There's another guy in this movie who's also in a Friday the 13th movie. It's the guy who plays Rick. So his name is Russell Todd, and he's in Friday the 13th Part 2. He's like the fucking, like the greaser, kind of like good looking, like hunk guy in Part 2. So there's a couple Friday the 13th connections in this.
As there would be, because there's like 27 of them. So
Yeah.
like,
There's a lot of interesting connections in this.
do you know what's really interesting? Obviously, there's more Friday the 13th movies than there are Nightmare on Elm Street. However, I feel like throughout our podcast, we've been able to find so many connections to Friday the 13th throughout the movies that we've done. Whether it's like directing or editorial or music or acting, there's always been a tie almost in every movie we've watched to at least one Friday the 13th episode.
Or Seinfeld.
Or Seinfeld,
Seinfeld.
obviously.
Or Walker, Texas Ranger. There is one in here too.
There aren't. I find there are very few connections to other like there's no like Halloween. Like how many Halloween movies are there? How many Nightmare on Elm
Yeah.
Street
That's
movies
true.
are
That
there,
doesn't
right?
come up nearly
it's
as
all
much.
Friday the 13th.
Doesn't come up nearly as much. You're right. That's
Maybe
really
because
strange.
of just like casting agents. Maybe like they
Maybe it's
just
because
like
Friday the
knew-
13th is so silly. I know you love it, but Friday the 13th
It's all
is
good. It's all good.
so silly.
I do. I find Nightmare on Elm Street more silly.
Oh, but it's meant to be silly.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
it is though. Like the first one.
It's scary
Yeah,
as
no, the
fuck.
first
The
one-
first one
but
is
then
not
but then
even
it was
included.
like Freddy got all his like one-liners, and it was just like me.
Yeah.
Not.
But the kills, well, no, the kills are silly too.
yeah, they're pretty.
But
funny.
they're like innovative.
Yeah, they're innovative. Friday the 13th, I find I'm always watching him. Stop farting
Got pizza, man.
Yeah.
Got pizza farts.
already. Oh my lord.
My system works fast.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But
That's
yeah, the Friday
funny.
the 13th movies, I find like some of the kills are just so funny to me, and I think it's because they're meant to be serious. Whereas Nightmare on Elm Street, he's like something, bitch.
Yeah.
So you know, like
Yeah,
you know,
I know, yeah.
You know, it's kind of funny.
it's kind of funny. But Friday the 13th, I'm always just dying laughing when he like smashes someone's face off something and doesn't say a word about it.
Yeah.
Like pushes a kazoo into someone's eyeball.
The wheelchair down the stairs is like the best
Oh
thing
my
I've
god,
ever
I know.
seen,
I don't
you
know why like that. Why is that scene so iconic? Like it's like people have been talking about it for so many years.
No one kills people in wheelchairs.
Yeah, Jason does apparently.
I know, right? Because it's like it's very politically incorrect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Jason doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Freddy killed somebody with a hearing impairment.
It's not the same.
I guess not.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
Oh
we go,
man.
robot.
Here we go. Killbot.
Fucking robots.
Robot. Bleep blap.
So, what's up with so many people that were in this movie, like, abruptly leaving acting? Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, I guess
There's,
so.
like, 3 of them, including fucking, what's his name there that you were just talking about? Russell Todd. He left acting in 1997.
Maybe because this movie was a flop at the box office.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's weird because, like, in my research, there was, I believe, a couple of the girls, Carrie Emerson and also Susie Slater, who, like, had really great careers and then, like, just stopped acting. Like, one day was just like, nope, that's it. And Susie Slater, apparently, like, I found lots and lots of information about her. She was, like, in Savage Streets with...
Oh, yeah, I know, with Linda Blair.
Linda Blair.
You see Linda Blair's boobies in
Yeah.
there, too.
And then
yes.
They're huge.
God,
she did this movie and, like, didn't like the whole idea of being associated with being a scream queen type thing. And then she did, like, a softcore porn movie called Mind Twister with Jim Wynorski. And then after she finished the movie and it was released, she just disappeared. And she's actually one of the only people that didn't appear in the documentary about Chopping Mall because no one could find her. Not
Oh,
the cast,
crazy.
not the crew. And apparently they even asked, like, Barbara Crampton. They were like, did you ever keep in touch with her? And she apparently explained a few years ago that was like, she regretted not keeping in touch with everyone because she would have loved to have been able to find her to include her in this.
Crazy.
But
How do you not
she
find someone?
apparently they looked, because like they were getting ready to do like the documentary, for like
Yeah.
extras and stuff, and the movie staff had been unable to locate her, making her one of the only cast members not to attend the 30th anniversary screening and the documentary.
Poor sweet
And I just find it really weird.
Maybe
Well-
fame. Maybe her fame was just
just caught
interfering.
right
She
to
couldn't
her
even
head.
grocery shop anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I was reading, actually, an interview with Barbara Crampton, and she was saying that being in horror movies in the 80s is a lot different than being in horror movies now. Whereas, like, being in horror movies now, she's working with a lot of younger people who are so brilliant and inspired and very motivated. And even just, like, back in the 80s, like, you had to, like, wait until, like, a company bought your movie to even release it, whereas now, like, anybody could just make a movie if they have the money, and they could just release it on their own and get it
Well,
distributed,
horror
like, very
was
easily.
more of a, not a
And-
joke, but it was more of a, it wasn't, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain
But
it.
she
But I've
said,
watched
like-
documentaries where
Yeah,
horror
yeah.
was, it was much more difficult to get
It
a
was,
horror
it
movie,
was.
like,
Well, to be
going.
actually, like, get a career in it
To
back
get it
then.
successful,
And she
yeah,
said,
yeah.
actually, that back then, it was a lot harder to get a career in horror movies in the 80s, like unless you were like in the blockbuster ones that were like Friday 13th and like Nightmare on Elm Street. So I can understand why maybe a lot of those people like stopped acting, because to them this was just like another shitty paid like little job that they didn't think anything would arise from it. So she stuck with it, and like a lot of actors like did it and then went to school, right, you know, like became lawyers or doctors, right, and this and that. So it was really difficult to even make it back then. So Barbara, she obviously everybody fucking knows who Barbara
she's
Crampton
like one
is.
of
like
the
one of the like
biggest.
scream queens.
Yeah,
she plays Susie in this movie. I think we just saw her get burned alive.
Yes, wonderful.
And pretty interesting, actually. She was 27 when she did Reanimator. And I saw her at Fan Expo a few years ago. I didn't meet her, but I kind of wanted to meet her and ask her, like, hey, so you were like 27 when you did Reanimator. Like, did your parents see it? Like, what did they think about a severed head about to, like, go down on you?
Yeah.
But then again, I was, like, reading about her more online, and then I was like, maybe they were cool with it because her dad was a carny.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So when
she traveled with...
She got to, like, that's what... When she was a kid, she grew up, like, traveling.
Yeah.
Like, with
because her dad was a fucking carny.
Yeah. I was like, so maybe, like, they probably thought it was pretty cool.
I guess, yeah.
But she was in, mostly back then... soap operas.
Yeah, she had a long run on
soap
opera.
opera face.
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
she
and
does.
like I think when I saw her at Fan Expo, somebody asked her about this and about being like categorized like as a scream queen, and she's like, I don't really see myself as that because like I was like more into like the soap operas back then.
She was on like some
like,
soap operas for like years and years. She did Guiding Light, Bold and the Beautiful, and The Young and the Restless.
She was Leanna Love on Young and the Restless, and like I always remember, like they were always on, like soap operas were always on during the day when we were kids, when we were in school.
Yeah.
But there was always like those sick days where you stay home and like
And
with your
all that was
mom,
on
and like
television.
that's all that was on TV was fucking soap operas. And like, but Leanna Love from Young and the Restless, this is amazing. So that character was actually psychotic, and so she did research on personality disorders and actually talked to shrinks, and she had a tiny part in Body Double, which is a movie that I recently watched, a Brian De Palma movie. It's a fucking fantastic movie.
That was her first like actual movie.
That was her first role in a movie, but she's just fucking some guy.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's just having sex or whatever. But Body Double has that scene with Frankie Goes to Hollywood Relax,
Yes.
which is the same place that the scene, the dance club scene from Fright Night,
yeah.
which is like the best scene in movie history.
Oh my god.
And I actually I had to rewatch that scene again, like the Frankie Goes to Hollywood scene from Body Double, and it's so fucking good. Like that movie is amazing. But yeah, so she only had, that was like her very first like movie role where she was just having sex with the guy. But yeah, so she got her first acting gig when she was 25 on Days with Our Lives, and this is amazing. Her character was killed off, but her character in the show dated John DeLancey, who was Q from Star Trek. My boyfriend Q from Star Trek.
Oh, you're about to give me shit for my man Steve Harvey.
Yeah, that's true.
And
I don't
you
judge.
are
I don't
talking
judge.
about Q.
Motherfucker. I love Q. I love him so much. He just like he fucks shit up
I was
for them
gonna say, you know
every
what?
time. It's amazing. His character just like I love Q so much.
He's great.
He's also in Breaking Bad as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so did you guys happen to look up her Playboy pictures?
No,
No,
I didn't.
bitch.
Sorry.
I fucking did.
Are they
man.
great?
Oh, I got them right here.
Are they pussy out?
Well, she's got bush, but it's
Which
not
is
like full
great.
spread or anything
Oh,
like
thank
that.
God.
But yeah, like she did Playboy, and they were like horror related pictures.
it's
like
fun.
there's one picture where
Is
there's
that a
like
creepy doll?
yeah, there's like her with like a creepy doll,
Ew.
and then she's like all soapy in a bathtub
With
with
a
like
corpse?
a zombie. There's like a corpse in the
Ew, that's
fucking.
like a Hills Have Eyes chilling.
Yeah, I know.
Stop.
But yeah, so she did Playboy.
That's
fucking
cool. Is
good
that
for
a
her,
weird
man.
Cenobite back there? What's happening?
Yeah, it's like a weird like fucking leather face
Jesus.
looking man.
That's
She's
fucking
so
I know.
goddamn beautiful.
I know, fucking good for her though. Seriously,
And she still
Like,
looks
that's
fucking
awesome.
amazing.
Dude,
Like,
she
she
looks
is aged
amazing for her age.
flawlessly.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
know we're
She's
obviously
goals.
gonna get to it, but her in Your Next, like her, she's stunning in that movie.
Dude, I know.
Stunning.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of women in Hollywood right now that I look up to when it comes to looking still very like youthful and young and healthy, because like for me, I'm a huge like fitness, like a healthy eater nerd, and Gillian Anderson
She looks
amazing.
the bomb.
like she
looks
just
good.
turned 50. Jennifer Connelly just turned her 50.
God.
Like they look amazing.
Both those bitches are,
honestly,
like-
all you got to do is exercise and eat healthy, and like that's it. Those women like Barbara Crampton like seriously like inspire me. Like I'm just like I look at them and I'm just like fuck yes, I'm gonna fucking look so good in my 50s and 60s.
They're
like
gorgeous.
I know, good
gorgeous.
for them. Good for them.
And I mean, like women like Demi Moore. Yeah, she
looks
obviously
amazing too.
gorgeous.
Dude.
However, she had work done when she was young.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Her tits, first of all,
I
are
had
the
no idea.
fakest tits I've
Yeah.
ever seen in my life.
But
But
she
they
was
were
in,
done when fake tits looked fake. So she
Yeah.
unfortunately got them put in at a time.
But her face,
when they were
though,
like,
oh my
this.
god, like she was
Like,
in that
ugh.
that movie Rough Night.
Yeah, yeah.
She looks amazing.
She's stunning.
Like Jesus.
But when I
fucking
think
Christ.
of women in Hollywood aging and being healthy and blah blah, immediately I go way older. I go Diane Keaton every
Yeah.
time. Every time.
hell yeah,
Fucking
yeah, for sure. Cheers.
love that
Woo!
woman. Love that
Well,
woman.
everybody obviously knows Barbara from like classic Reanimator, from
Mm-hmm.
Beyond, Castle Freak. But lately, I've been into like going into some pretty like bad movie areas, and
she's got some. She's got some
holy
secrets.
shit, I'm like obsessed. I'm seriously like obsessed with Tim Thomerson right now. And Trancers, I watched Trancers 1 and 2
yeah.
recently,
She's in
and like
Trancers
fuck
too.
yeah, she's in Trancers too. She's just a cameo. She's like a TV host or something interviewing somebody, but she's also in this movie Robot Wars. So I watched a clip of it, and she's barely even in the trailer, but I kind of want to watch it. It looks interesting, like stop motion, fucking
Yeah.
like scorpion robots, like fighting. Like,
amazing.
yeah, I know. And she's also in that other Stuart Gordon movie that we were talking about in the
Space
last
Truckers.
episode, Space Truckers.
Yeah.
I really want to watch that movie.
know.
I
Where
can't
can we
find it
find
anywhere.
Space Truckers?
I know. What isn't Stephen Dorff, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and Dennis Hopper.
Mhm.
Yeah, I really want to watch Space Truckers.
It's gonna be good. But yeah, good for Barbara Crampton for like, keeping things going, keeping the dream alive. Like she was out of acting for a really long time, and now she's back and she's doing mostly horror, which is really cool.
Yeah, because she took a break, and then she did like mostly soap operas, and
Yeah.
then like horror and mostly soap operas, and then she took a really long break, and now she's like back in horror. And I was reading some interviews with her, and she was just saying like how exciting it is to be back in horror right now. Like
so
it's
it's
because
a
it's
good
so
time.
different now. It's a
Yeah.
good time. And she's just like, I'm just so excited to be working with all these young people. I was like,
That's
"Oh."
cool.
Yeah, and you know what? And young people who, like I said, as far as like you're next, that movie had. I don't
love
want to. I
that
don't want to
movie.
spoiler alert
I
it,
love
but
the kills
you know,
in that
there.
movie.
It's not a sex-based horror movie. So for her to come back and work in a
Good
horror
kills.
movie, that when you showed that to me, Yasmina, I mean, I instantly became obsessed with it, and it is one of the most like thrilling just kills. It's not
It's
scary.
fucking
It's
The
scary.
not
kills
scary.
are
It's
very
fucking scary.
impressive.
Well,
to me.
but it's not scary. It's not jump scary.
No.
I guess is what I'm saying. Like it's man on man.
Yeah, but
violence
to me that's
scary.
fucking the
Yes.
scariest kind of scary.
Of course it is.
Jump
Of course
scares
it
are
is.
don't scare me, but it's like, somebody's in your fucking house fucking
Stop.
creeping on you, watching you
Stop.
fucking in the closet and shit. Like that's really scary to me.
Yeah, and her death wasn't that great in that movie, to be honest. You don't get to really see it or anything, so it's not like this epic death. But her role in that movie was epic, I feel like, because she's
like
just
you feel
this
bad for
terrified
her.
old woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I could go on, because she done good. Now, I'm assuming that they got these guns because it's
They went into like a hardware
available
store.
in American malls.
Yeah, they just went into the gun store and
right? Because
Well,
we don't have those where
No.
we're from, so.
Jesus Christ.
gun store, liquor store, gun store.
Haha.
I mostly the only other thing that I have is stuff about Julie Corman and the fact that she produced the first movie that Bill Paxton was ever in, Crazy Mama in 1975, and she also have you ever seen The Nest? Either
No,
of
but
you?
I know
I
that
love
fucking movie
that
cover
poster.
though. I've definitely seen
With the
that movie
roach?
poster, but
'Kay.
I've never seen the movie.
Yeah, because she, like, I don't know, I find her to be quite fascinating, because Roger Corman in his own right is, like, an interesting character, and, like, I guess known for being, like, the B-movie guy and whatever, but, like, his wife is, like, a fucking wicked, awesome, powerful, like, producer as well. Like, she did The Nest, Nightfall, Crazy Mama, 1975, Bill Paxton's first movie, and Brain Dead with Bill Pullman, Bill Paxton, and George Kennedy.
Nice.
She produced those movies as well. As well as she kind of did a little bit of like exploitation movies herself. Apparently, like there was like a nurse like genre of exploitation movies in the 70s that like was like a big thing, and she produced a ton of like nurse movies, like Summer School Teachers, Candy Stripe Nurses, Student Teachers, The Young Nurses, all these like weird kind of movies. So yeah, I don't know, I find her really interesting. She started her own production company, Trinity Pictures, and she also does a lot of family films, which is really weird, right?
That was the question mark. Like a Corman does family.
Yeah, like I find it interesting. Like she's all over the place. Like she's doing exploitation movies. She's doing like horror and sci-fi, and then she's doing like family stuff. I think they still do the family side of things. They've won some awards for some of their more like direct to like video like family movies and shit like that.
Good for
yeah,
them.
Interesting.
yeah.
Fascinating.
Fascinating.
God. Fascinating.
That's it.
I love this music.
I
sounds like a video
am into the
game.
soundtrack of this movie for sure, actually. And it's so 80s sounding.
Video game. Now I'm curious because we said that they're
They were told to not
Right.
break anything.
so obviously they set things up to be broken.
Yeah,
but
so the
that's
things
elaborate.
that they broke, I'm assuming, are things that they bought to be broken.
Because a lot of they've broken a lot of shit.
Yeah, I know. There's
Right,
a lot of
broken
broken crashed.
glass.
I know. I just keep thinking of Commando. Like, I just keep thinking of Arnold riding down with those fucking tube flags.
Yeah.
Oh my
Fuck.
god.
Oh man.
Oh, man.
Oh, and she's in a pet store. And
I
there's
know.
actual pets.
I know. Isn't that the saddest thing you've ever seen? Like pets living in like cubicles.
Oh, I honestly, like, I can't go into pet stores. Like, I have
They
to
don't
get...
do that anymore. There's no like pets in pet stores.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, there's not
Well, I
supposed
mean,
to
there's
be.
like, there's
The one by my
cats,
house,
like, for
they still have
adoption,
it.
I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's cats for, like, a, you know, the adoption, like, section. Like,
Yeah.
I can't go in there. I feel so bad. Like, I just want to adopt all the
They
cats.
just live in a little
I know.
box.
I know.
That's why I can't go in there anymore because
Spiders.
Spiders and a
Snakes.
snake.
Oh, that
You
snake
pat
is
the
fucking
snake.
them
I'm
up.
a snake. I'm a slippery snake.
Ew, bitch! Ew!
Megan has a fear of spiders.
And she's letting that fucking thing, two of them crawl out, like you're not gonna try to even pick it
well,
off. Not even gonna try.
here's the thing: you choose a robot that's gonna like kill you, or
Listen,
a spider.
I have the wherewithal to take my fingers and pick a spider off my shoulder. Even though there's a robot there. Even though. Do they sense? Do they smell? Do they... No. Infrared?
No.
Okay, get it off. Get it
They're
off. Get it
pretty
off.
like scary though.
No, the robots are like scary.
They got
but-
like a little bit of the RoboCop vibe going on there.
Well, let's talk about robots. It's time.
All right, it's time. Here we
It's
go.
time. Okay, well, I was really excited when Megan suggested that we do a robot-themed movie, because I do love robot cyborg movies, like good and bad. But like to me personally, when I think about like robot cyborg movies, like number two like best fucking like robot cyborg movies like are Terminator and Blade Runner.
Oh yeah,
Like they're perfect movies, and I will fight anyone who disagrees with that.
Terminator is the number one. It's number one.
Like those two movies are just like, even Terminator 2 as well. Like Terminator 1 and 2 and Blade Runner, like for sure, like the best out there. Like Blade Runner, like I've written 2 essays on that movie in my lifetime, and I thought the new one was really good, but I feel like I need to rewatch it because
Yeah.
a lot was going on.
There was some stuff in it that at the end I was like, wait, so
Yeah,
what?
I need to rewatch it. But Terminator is a perfect movie.
The first Terminator, yes. The Terminator 2, I think, is a little bit more like
Hollywood.
it's more Hollywood, more flashy,
Yeah.
but like
Still amazing.
Terminator,
though.
the first Terminator is perfect
I
in
know.
itself. It's like I don't want to say it's low budget because it's not, but it just has that like early 80s vibe that just makes it so more real, you know what I'm saying?
I love the part where Arnold fucking takes his eye out. Oh,
Oh,
my god,
fuck.
it's so good.
I
Yeah.
just like when he's naked.
Yeah.
Ew.
I like when he's naked and he
That's
busts
funny.
into that bar. I'm like, yeah, his wang's just fucking there, just hanging around.
Oh, that's
like,
that's in 2. That's in Terminator
Oh
2.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like a naked robot.
Give me your boots,
Okay.
your jacket, and your motorcycle.
You're right. Those are good movies. My number one that I wanted to talk about was Cyborg.
Fuck yeah, man.
Cyborg is great.
JCVD. Fuck yeah, man.
That's
Cyborg
a
is
fabulous
amazing,
movie.
man. Albert Pune.
It's
Probably his
I
best
love Albert
movie.
Pune, man. It's probably,
It is his
probably
best movie. Yeah, let's be honest.
it was like, it disturbed me because I saw it as a kid.
Yeah.
And it really fucking, like, the bad guy fucking disturbed the shit out of me. He's, like, big and scary, and, like, he's got this weird outfit, and everyone's got weird outfits.
Those crazy eyes.
And, like, those
his crazy eyes.
weird, like, almost, like, translucent.
I love
like,
the pain. I love the misery. I love this world.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. Cyborg is awesome. And also, like, Universal Soldier, too, because they're technically
I guess
cyborgs.
it's kind of a
Yeah,
robot-y
because they're
kind of
dead.
movie.
They're dead soldiers, and then they get brought back as, like, artificial intelligence, like, cyborgs, and I'm all ears. My boyfriend
man.
Dolph Lundgren.
You know what? I was watching the original Judge Dredd the other day.
Yeah.
And there's this, you know, when they go out into, like, the
Oh, fuck,
the
I haven't seen it in
Badlands.
so long.
Well, there's this scene where, you know, Sylvester Stallone goes out into the Badlands, and there's a cyborg, a cannibalistic family who has turned one of their family members into a cyborg because he was dying, so they had to replace his parts or whatever.
I don't remember
And
any
so
of that.
he's a cannibalistic cyborg.
That's
like,
fucking
what?
wicked.
What?
That's
Oh,
an
the
entire movie in
90s.
itself.
That
Like,
doesn't even make sense.
I am the law. That's the only thing I remember from that movie because
said
there's
that
an
so
Anthrax
perfectly.
because there's an Anthrax song called "I Am the Law" that's based off the comic book.
You really
but yeah,
love
I
that.
should. I was actually thinking about rewatching Judge Dredd, but the new Dredd movie that they did was pretty fucking good. It was very violent.
It was too violent.
I like it.
It was
Carl
too
Urban.
violent.
But yeah, well, when it comes to, I guess like, and there's like RoboCop, obviously.
RoboCop, but
Fuck that movie. It's
we
too
talked
Yeah,
about
it's too
RoboCop in
stressful
our
for
last
Megan.
episode,
Yeah.
and Megan
It's
was
fucked up.
disturbed by it. No, honestly, it is not a kid's movie.
No.
It's fucking
Oh
disturbing.
yeah, it's violent as fuck.
the
man.
existential questions that come along with that entire movie.
Yes, I
it
know.
fucks with me. I don't like.
Yeah.
Especially in
I mean,
the
it's
day
a
and
good
age that
movie.
we live in, like,
Yeah.
no.
Well, so I tried to watch the sequels, and I watched the second one, and it's not bad, but it's not as good
second
as
one's
the first
okay.
one. But the third one, oh my god, I tried to watch it, and it's the one that doesn't have Peter Weller as RoboCop, and it's so boring. I couldn't even finish it. I was like, holy fuck, I can't even pay attention to this. Like, it's just not entertaining at all. I didn't think it was good at all. But the new RoboCop that they did, I didn't mind.
I liked it.
I liked it. It was pretty. It was a good action movie for sure.
What?
I thought
They
it
did.
was.
They
Did I
remade
miss
RoboCop
that?
like a few years ago, like maybe 4 years ago or something.
Yeah, with oh fuck, what's his name?
Joel Kinnaman.
Joel Kinnaman. Yeah, that's his name.
Oh, and Michael Keaton and Gary Oldman are in it too.
Yeah.
Joel Kinnaman.
He was in Suicide Squad.
Was also
wasn't
in
he?
Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, he was in
Yeah,
House. He was in
fart
House of
noise,
Cards.
yeah.
He
Fart
played
noise.
the Democratic candidate.
Yeah.
On
that.
House of Cards.
Yeah, but I actually kind of want to watch I think it came out in 2014, RoboCop. I remember not hating it. Like I rented it and I was like, damn, this is
Yeah.
actually a pretty good action movie. But
It wasn't terrible.
Well, when it comes to I guess like more specific to like killer robots, like my number one, like obviously Chopping Mall is up there, but like Chopping Mall is obviously like a silly 80s kind of like cheesy 80s horror movie, but like when it comes to like killer robot movies, for me, my number one for sure is Hardware. Like, Hardware is
Awesome. It's a great
another
movie.
perfect movie. That movie, I find, is way ahead of its time. It's directed by Richard Stanley, and he also did this other movie that I've never seen, that I was recommended that I should watch, called Dust Devil, and I've never seen it, but like, I don't know, man, like I think that movie is way ahead of its time for sure. Like everything about the way that it was shot, the story, the plot, the lighting,
the aesthetics
colors,
of the movie are really interesting.
it's like, it's fucking fantastic. Like, honestly, that movie, it just, till this day, like, blows my mind. Like, the first time I ever watched it, I think I was, like, 19 years old, and I was working at HMV, and it was when I was, like, kind of, like, first getting into, like, really, like, obscure movies and music, and my boss at the time was like, oh, I got a movie I can lend you, and he lent it to me on VHS, and I watched it that night and was, like, instantly obsessed. Like, I was just like, this movie is amazing. It's creepy, it's scary, the soundtrack is amazing. Like, the song, like, This Is What You Want by Public Image Limited, that song song. I could listen to that song like over and over again. It has Ministry and Guar on the soundtrack, and then like Lemmy has a cameo. Iggy Pop has like his voice, I guess, is in the movie. But yeah, Dylan McDermott, like.
He's
holy
hot.
Shit, yeah.
That fucking shower scene.
I know.
Shit, it's fucking hot. I
He's
watched
like,
it
he's
again.
Like all dirty, but it's like sexy.
No, it's
dirty.
fucking
it's
great.
always.
It's
Oh
great.
man,
dirty.
it's like
Always,
it's really
always.
fucking good. But yeah, if anyone has never seen Hardware, I highly recommend watching Hardware.
It's artful.
It's very
in the way that
artful.
it's shot.
Yeah.
It really is.
I love the colors and the lighting. It's just like amazing. And like so you, Morgan, watched the documentary about the Island of Dr. Moreau.
Yes.
Because did he also direct that movie, and then it was like revealed that he was like insane?
He did
Well,
direct
him
it.
and
So the documentary, I believe, is called Lost Souls, about the Island of Dr. Moreau movie that they did in, I guess it was the early 90s. That's got Val Kilmer.
and Perusa Bulk.
I
I think I
Perusa
saw it.
Bulk.
I saw it in
First.
theaters. Well, there's a documentary about
Yeah.
how tumultuous the
I
shooting
know.
was.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
I've never
it's
seen
a
it. Oh,
it's
fabulous.
good.
It's a
It's good.
fabulous documentary. But they interview him. Is it Richard Stanley's?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. They interview Richard Stanley in that documentary, and that's what made me fascinated with his other movies, because I ended up watching the movie after I saw the documentary, because it was like, okay, this is such a mess, I have to watch it. And I mean, they kind of put it together okay, but yeah, he definitely is. I don't know if he's like clinically insane and like been committed or whatever, but he's definitely a fucking crazy guy. Like he's not normal. He's like in the. I remember the interview. He's like walking on the mountain. He's like kind of like a shaman kind of guy.
Is he like South African or something?
I think he's British. But the documentary is definitely worth a watch just to see the fucking mess that movie was. And like Marlon Brando, like
I was gonna say,
Oh
we
my God.
that was
talked
like
about this,
yes,
though.
that was at like the pinnacle of his like, I'm Marlon Brando and I'm
do
gonna
what I
do
want.
whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
And it was like he would show up on set like wearing all these
He was like that
different
during
outfits
Apocalypse
and like
Now, too.
yeah, like just the fucking crazy shit.
Yeah,
And
like
these poor
Hearts,
guys had to deal with.
If
all
you want to
this.
watch a really good documentary, watch Hearts of Darkness, the documentary about Apocalypse
Yes!
Now.
That is
one of
also
the
fucking
best
crazy.
fucking documentaries about a film out there. Like both him and Martin Sheen were both fucking
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah,
Martin
that's a
Sheen, yeah.
fantastic
Yeah,
documentary as well.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I really want to watch that, the Island of Dr. Moreau, but I really want to watch Dust Devil as well. But it's just like, it blows my mind that this guy also did Hardware, because Hardware to me is a flawless movie.
It's a fucking masterpiece.
Like
It really is. It's
a
great.
beautiful fucking, like, you know how like Blade Runner has that stylistic look that it's like gorgeous, like Hardware
Yeah.
has that too.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. But anyway, so other robotic cyborg movies that I want to bring up. So because of this guy, Mike Lamb, that wrote that review on Rotor, I was like looking at the other movies that were on his list of like best worst movies of the 80s, and thanks to him I am now aware of Hands of Steel.
Oh, Hands of Steel looks so good.
Hands of Steel looks okay. Hands of Steel is probably like the second, like probably most ripoff.
The second most rippy-offy Terminator.
Of Terminator movie. Like there's like a scene, we watched the trailer, and there's a scene where the guy is like he opens like his forearm to like reveal
Right.
like his like cybernetic fucking like nerves and like tubes and stuff, and,
And
it's
it's
like that's
exactly like Terminator.
Like he's
like
just,
he moves
he's
his
like,
fingers and it moves, and
Yeah.
it's like what? Like it's like
he's like
Like,
repairing the
a
hardware like
complete
in his
ripoff.
forearm, and I'm like, oh my god, that's like the exact same. And that other movie, Top Line.
Oh my
Top
God,
Line is
that movie
basically
looks
a
fucking
movie
crazy
that's
too.
like it's like Indiana Jones, but with cyborgs and lizard people.
Oh my god.
We actually watched part of Top Line. We watched maybe the last 20 minutes and like kind of skipped through like the first little bit of it, because
Oh,
we were
man,
like,
I don't
oh,
even
because we
remember.
heard, remember we were like, oh, we heard there's lizard people in this movie too. So
Oh
we
yeah,
fast-forwarded
we
to the
like
end.
forwarded. We found it on YouTube and we fast forwarded to the end because we just wanted to see the lizard.
We were like,
people.
we heard there's
and it was
lizard people.
actually awesome.
Yeah, no,
It was like she was all melty and shit.
yeah, so I guess it was just like an alien conspiracy with cyborgs or whatever. But yeah, like there was a transformation scene that was like this. She was like completely naked, like beautiful fucking woman, and then she starts like
oozing.
changing, like kind of like, you know, the Howling, that
Yeah,
fucking the
yeah.
changing, like her, like the face actually stretches out
Yeah,
and like it's
yeah.
very drawn out. It was actually really well done. They probably blew the entire budget on the end of that.
I
Because
forget already what you said it was called, but I remember not liking
Top
it.
Line.
Yeah, I don't like it.
yeah.
Nah, I don't like it. I don't like the name. No.
Also, well, me and Morgan watched
Robo War.
Oh my god, okay.
It
And
was
like,
bad.
wow. So it was basically RoboCop / Predator in one movie.
Okay.
In one like disasterful movie.
Okay,
It was entertaining though. Like it was fun to watch, but like the robot's voice was like
Oh my god,
like every time he showed up on
It was like
screen,
Porky
we were like,
Pig.
Oh my fucking god.
It was fucking weird.
It was so fucking
And
weird.
its outfit was like the Wraith, pretty much. It was just
Yeah.
like a fucking like motorcycle helmet with
Yeah.
like a leather kind of like suit, but then with like some tubes and shit, like some spray painted tubes, you know, black.
Oh man.
I don't know. And at the end, it was like he flips his fucking spoiler alert. He flips his fucking like visor up, and he's like got human eyes, and he's like, "Kill me." He asks the guy to blow him up. Like what? What does this even mean?
That's the RoboCop part of the movie.
Yeah.
Everything else, like the men that he's hunting, is like
It's
is
Predator. Even
It's
the, like,
basically
scene where he
Predator, 'cause
jumps
they're,
off
in the
into the
jungle.
water?
Yeah, there's like a scene where like one of the guys like jumps from like a fall. Like, and I was like, that's exactly like the fucking scene of Arnold falling, jumping in the water from Predator. Like, it's so bad. Well, I tried to watch as many robot movies as possible, like, for this episode. And I watched, Nemesis, which is another Albert Pune movie, and it was very entertaining. I will say that man knows what he's doing. Like, honestly, Albert Pune was like before Tommy Wiseau. Like he was like the Tommy Wiseau of the late 80s and 90s. Like honestly, but like the thing about
Except
Albert
he was way more
Pune-
prolific
Yeah.
because Albert Pune has directed so many movies.
Oh my god, he's done all the Nemesis movies, and honestly, like the thing that I love about his movies is that like he knows they're bad, but he doesn't give a shit. But he also just like has so much shit blowing up and gunfire that it makes it so entertaining.
Yeah.
And he has to have Tim Thomerson in all of his movies.
I
And
know, it's
fucking
amazing, right?
Love Tim Thomerson, like especially in Trancers. He's like supposed to be this like stud, and he's like this old man and like fucks Helen Hunt.
I know.
Like, what the
and she's
fuck?
like 20
And she's
years
like,
old,
yeah.
and he's so
Oh my
aged.
god! But I love him though. Like
God.
honestly, I was
Oh,
watching.
God.
I don't even know. I was
It's
watching trailers or something.
That's
the other
precious
day.
that he's fucking her when she's...
No, how young she is.
Oh.
It's precious.
Sorry. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, no, it's actually quite disturbing how they cast usually like that. It's like, oh, it doesn't matter how old the guy is. Like, the girl has to be 20 years
Yeah,
old.
well,
She's
it's
gotta
like
be young.
he's like the Tom Atkins of like sci-fi action movies.
Yeah,
like
and
'cause
Tom Atkins is
was
the
like,
least sexy leading man
I know,
ever.
and then but he's always cast as this like sexy man who has sex with very young Jamie Lee Curtis. Like Tim Thomerson was that, but of like the bad action sci-fi movies. But yeah, like I love Albert Pune. Like he just like he's so entertaining. It's like yes, it's bad acting. It's like terrible fake boobs. But it's like so much action and bad acting that it just like it's a riot. I love watching his movies. I also watched Class of 1999.
Yeah.
It was good. It's got Homer from Near Dark in it. It kind of like in Malcolm McDowell and Stacy Keach, and Stacy Keach has this weird blonde mullet ponytail with like white eyes, and there's like a scene where he's eating a banana. Like it's so random. He's like part cyborg. I don't even know why he's eating a banana.
That's weird.
But there the violence in it is good.
It was good?
I feel like it takes a while to pick up. Apparently there's a sequel that's like terrible.
It looks rotten.
Which is like
I saw the cover and I was like,
and also like that made me think of the Cyborg sequels, because apparently Cyborg 2 and 3 are like an abomination.
Wow.
Like but Albert Pune did the first Cyborg, but he didn't do part 2 and part 3, but part 2 has Angelina Jolie in it.
Oh.
And part 3 has Zach Galligan from Gremlins. But like they look bad. Like they look really fucking bad.
Well, let's be honest. The first one wasn't a fucking...
I like it.
Oh no, it's good.
Yeah.
But it can only go. There's no going up from there. It can only go downhill. From
Yeah,
there.
it goes
Yeah.
downhill.
You know?
It definitely goes downhill.
At
with
least
the
they had a
Cyborg
budget,
movies.
though.
Yeah, and also, oh my god, I tried to watch it. Okay, in like my many years of like just researching unknown, good or bad movies of the 80s especially, Cherry 2000 was one that always popped up in my search, and I was like, hey, it's been on my list for a really long time. It's got Melanie Griffith in it.
Did you watch Cherry 2000?
Okay.
I've
half
seen
of it.
some of
that. Okay, it's set in 2017.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's in the future. And by the way, all these fucking dystopian futuristic movies always start with in the future, and it's always in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's always in
It's
LA.
always in LA.
Right?
Yeah. But Cherry 2000 is basically a fucking movie about a guy being obsessed with his fuck doll that died. And he tries to find the replica of his fuck doll, and Melanie Griffith is a human kind of like renegade who helps him go on this journey to find the original fuck doll, like the model of his like fuck doll, I guess. And yeah, this was like in the 80s, dude. But then he falls in love with her, and he said, but it's all weird because she's human and I normally like fuck dolls. Like, it's really fucking weird. I don't know. I shut it off. I couldn't even finish it. I was like, this is just like about this guy's like infatuation with his like robot lady. I don't know, but she like looks human. I don't know. And she like crashes, and then the company who make like fuck dolls make him a new one, and then but he's like displeased with it because it's not the other girl, and he's like, well, I need to find the original model, and like that's the whole movie. And I'm just like, what the fuck, why was this even made? This is like degrading, and like I mean, like, it was just stupid. I don't know, I thought it was pretty bad.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Well, there are better cyborg movies than that out there, I'm sure. Some of them are great, some of them are terrible.
Yeah.
Cyborg, definitely. Rotor, amazing. Terminator, number one.
Rotor, amazing.
Hardware, fabulous. Robo Wars. I watched Runaway.
Oh my god, I forgot to talk about Runaway.
Okay,
Runaway was
so
Tom Selleck and
Runaway,
Gene Simmons.
Yes, Tom Selleck,
Kirstie
Gene
Alley.
Simmons,
Oh
and
my
Kirstie
God.
Alley. That was kind of I was like, that was a movie.
It wasn't even like that great. And
No.
it's like the budget that they probably had for that was like a million times more than Rotor, and Rotor is a better movie in my opinion.
Well, okay, so Runaway is based on a Michael Crichton
yeah, Michael
book,
Crichton.
and he directed
shit.
it. And
yeah,
he directed
wrote
the movie.
it and directed it, and it's got Gene Simmons.
Yeah, Gene Simmons
Who-
plays the bad guy. He actually is really good at
Yeah,
it.
and he's
Like,
actually
a
like
good
he's
bad
a good
guy.
slime ball. Like
Yeah.
he can act like a slime ball because he probably is one.
Yeah, totally. He's
But
not
yeah,
acting at all.
Yeah, Gene Simmons it's like set in the future in Los Angeles,
Yes.
and there's these like little mini robots that are helpers. Like they live in the future where like you're made as a robot. You know what I mean? Like it's like everything like robots are just like made.
Robots
to,
are like in the beginning of the movie,
Servers,
they're
I
like
guess.
cultivating the corn in the fields.
yeah,
Like they
but
don't have
Gene
people picking
Simmons
things.
decides to implement evil into these like little critter robot guys and orders them to kill. And like Tom Selleck's outfit is like chainmail.
Oh.
Like what? It's Michael Crichton, Jurassic Park.
Oh,
I know.
God.
It was not amazing.
It was not.
It wasn't
amazing.
great.
No, it wasn't
No.
great.
The idea is there because Michael Crichton always has, like, much like Westworld, which is also Michael Crichton, like, he always has, like, the right idea when he's writing things down about, like, dystopian futures and, like, how, society would maybe rely on technology, but then technology always turns. Basically, every single Michael Crichton book or movie that he's ever done is that idea.
Yeah, like
Jurassic
humanity,
Park is the same
yeah.
thing, but with
Yeah.
dinosaurs and not
Yeah.
robots. But yeah, so in book form, in the written word, it always is eloquent and beautiful, and then it doesn't always translate the way that
Well,
it
didn't-
should, especially in the 80s.
Well, didn't you, Morgan? You watched Westworld, the Westworld movie, right?
Yes, I watched the original. I watched the new show
I
as
haven't
well.
seen
Oh,
either.
the show's amazing.
The show is
Well,
fantastic.
apparently the movie is like.
But I watched the
garbage.
one from the
Ah.
70s, and it was not good at all. It was so bad.
I've heard that it's like terrible.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. If you're gonna watch Westworld for the idea that Michael Crichton was hoping for, just watch the new show.
Interesting.
Yeah, the original is not good.
Well, yeah, I have some like honorable mentions. Obviously Metropolis.
Yep.
Fritz Lang, Metropolis. It's like probably one of those movies that will go down in history as one of the best movies ever made. And I just want to mention some like killer robots that scarred me as a child. And any Borg episode of Star Trek is like the best episodes of Star Trek are all Borg episodes.
I am Locutus of Borg.
Yes.
We
and
are Borg.
the Johnny Cab from Total
Oh,
Recall
that shit is fucked
fucking
up.
gave me nightmares. Like when I was a kid. Oh, I hate that
Johnny
fucking
Cab.
thing. I hate that fucking thing,
So
man.
creepy.
Like, welcome to Johnny Cab. Like, punch. Also, like, Max Headroom. He's not technically a robot, but he's artificial intelligence. And
He's not technically
scared.
anything.
Yeah, he's a computer, I guess.
He's in the internet, man.
He's fucked.
He's
That's
fucked.
right. Yeah, he's fucked. Like, why? Why did they give him those eyes, man? Like, they're scary. I had nightmares about Max Headroom when I was a kid. Also, like, I find Hal from 2001: Space Odyssey terrifying.
So scary. And
He doesn't even have a body in his fucking
Yeah, I
suit.
know. It's just
Artificial
the voice. His
intelligence.
voice,
he's just
man.
a fucking creepy.
Yeah, his
Really
voice.
scary.
And a few movies that I've never seen that are definitely on my radar for a very long time, but I really want to watch Lady Terminator.
Oh, God.
Lady Terminator is one of those movies that, like, when I'm researching bad movies, that always comes up, and I'm like, fuck, I need to watch that. And Death Machine is another one that I've heard of. You probably would recognize the cover of the movie. It's like a claw. But also another one is Cyborg Cop.
Yes.
That's the clip that I showed you guys.
Yeah.
Gives the finger. Yeah, so Cyborg Cop looks pretty fucking hilarious to
Fucking
me. I do
amazing.
need to watch Cyborg Cop.
A couple other honorable mentions. Stepford Wives.
Actually, I've never seen the original.
Stepford Wives is super good. That's a super good one I didn't even think of.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of it.
I've never seen the original, but I saw the remake and I liked it.
It's spooky.
Yeah. Fucking robot bitches.
Yeah.
It's it has a very cult kind of theme as well.
totally.
Yeah. And Short Circuit. I know you guys hate it, but I love Johnny
like
Five.
Short Circuit.
He's
I
great.
don't like him.
He's cute.
He's annoying. It's
No
just like, get out of my way.
I
I also noticed that, like, with all these movies that were made in the 80s that had, like, robots, servers, they were
Batteries
so
not-
giant.
Batteries not
Oh,
included.
yeah, batteries not included.
They
with
had
the
little guys, yeah.
But, like,
They did
every
have
other robot, like, even, like, the robot made Tom Selleck's fucking robot wife and Runaway.
Oh my god, she looked like a microwave. She looked like a microwave on wheels.
Giant, like it was like a fucking filing cabinet, and she would just like repeat everything that he would say, and it's like the robot from fucking Rocky 5, like "Happy Birthday, Paul."
Yeah, why was that even in that?
I don't know, man. That thing was
Why?
giant. Like I feel like it would be very. It's like they're supposed to be so resourceful and helpful, but like they just like seemed like to be getting in the way.
Yeah.
Like there's "Happy Birthday, Polly."
I can't imagine like a fucking walking microwave cooking my fucking pasta
like-
for me, making me dinner and
I know.
shit.
It's like the maid from the Jetsons.
Yeah.
Yes.
But even Rosie was a little more like, she had more
At least she was
fluidity
quick.
than that. Yeah.
She had wheels.
She was
These
fast.
guys are like, I don't know, they're on like conveyor belts and they're giant. Like they're so big, blinking lights, and they're just like getting in the way. Like
It
in
looks-
Runaway, like I was just like, he was like,
It's a joke.
she was like, "Are you sure you don't want to stay for dinner?" And she just kept like repeating everything that he said. And I
Yeah,
was like,
it's
oh my
like,
god, she's just annoying. Like
just gotta hit
Tom
that-
Selleck, can't you cook your own fucking
Right?
meals?
It's like pasta. Like, you can,
Yeah,
like, pasta
she was
is
like,
the easiest thing to cook ever.
pasta will be al dente in 3 minutes.
And she, like, puts, like, a claw hand into
Yeah.
the fucking pot.
Ew.
She better be fucking washing her claw hands.
Right?
Ew.
Ew! Oh my god. Alright, one more movie that I'm gonna mention is Saturn 3. I never got to watch
Oh, yeah,
it.
I watched a
with
clip of it.
Kirk Douglas and Farrah Fawcett and Harvey Keitel
Yeah.
are the only three
good
people in the
lineup.
movie.
Yeah.
And a murderous robot.
Are they in space as well?
Yes, they are on
I watched the trailer.
I guess they're near Saturn. They're like, it's like an outpost or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just like, okay, well, here they are out in space. And the robot is really angry and gonna kill them, I guess. Yeah. And apparently this movie
Yeah.
was pretty famous because Farrah Fawcett's boobs are in it.
Wow.
Oh.
Not because of the special effects or Kirk Douglas's amazing portrayal of the hero, but her boobs. So that's that.
Funny.
Yeah. But it's on YouTube in like HD, like good quality. So if anybody wants to check it out.
Nice. Isn't it? It's from the 70s, right?
I think it might be 83.
Oh, okay. It looked way older than that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, since Chopping Mall involves chopping and robots, it also involves mall. So I decided to mention some mall movies.
Ooh, very nice.
So yes, like I love looking at pictures of malls, like inside of malls in the 80s. Like you just Google it and there's fabulous fucking photos and
It was a culture. It was a fucking crazy
fringe
culture.
Yeah, like it's just like even just the decor, neon lights, like everything about it just brings me so much joy. Like I really wish I could just go back to the 80s and just like stay there forever. But Night of the Comet, it's been brought up a lot in this episode. So Night of the Comet is in the mall. Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Dawn of the Dead. The whole movie is in the mall, and that's pretty sweet. Obviously, Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge. Love that movie. The Initiation, which I just recently watched, actually. And Clu Gulager is just at the very beginning of the movie, and he, like, has sex, and it's really weird and gross, because he's Clu Gulager. But I love him. Clue. One that I have only seen once, and I'm always on the lookout for it on VHS, but Hide and Go Shriek. Have you guys ever seen that?
No, I've never seen it.
It's like one of those iconic covers where it's like the letters are in red and it's a girl that's like hiding under something and she's like looking up. Hide and Go Shriek is a good one. Like it's like basically teenagers.
What year is it?
It's almost like I don't know, 80s for sure, but it's like these teenagers like break into this mall in the middle of the night to like party and rage and drink and smoke weed and fuck, and there's a killer in there, and it's just like, it's perfect, it's awesome. But I do like I am a fan of a lot of obviously like non-horror 80s movies as well, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yes,
like, oh my
so
god,
good.
Sean Penn in that movie kills me. Like I can't believe that's him.
I know. He's such a fucking surfer.
He's like that. Have you seen that like surfer interview guy? And he's like,
yes!
and he's John. And
it was like that. It was like that.
It was like John. Yeah, that's a good one. I do like it. And like when I was in high school, I was obsessed with the movie Mallrats.
Yeah.
I've seen it a fair amount of times. I think it's the best Kevin Smith movie.
Have you seen Paul Blart Mall Cop?
No,
I saw that movie.
Oh, you guys know what? You don't love life enough for that movie.
I don't find that man funny, but I'll give it a shot.
James,
Isn't Anna Faris, isn't it? Because I do like her a lot.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I do love her in the Scary Movie movies.
Yeah.
I can't
and Smiley Face with the fucking
those movies.
Oh, I love that.
I like
the first two.
one.
I was gonna say the first two were good because the Wayans brothers have nothing to do with the other ones.
Oh, they get so stupid after a while.
Yeah,
but then
I
again,
bet,
so do like most
of those parody.
Of,
Like,
after
Or just like if you beat a series to death, like Hellraiser, for instance.
Oh, I heard that the new Hellraiser is out.
It came out.
Yeah,
I haven't
Judgment.
watched it yet. Maybe we should have a night and watch it.
I think so.
Yeah.
We need
Throw
to bring
things.
a lot of beer. For that.
Yeah. Me and Megan watched The Ritual. Yeah, The Ritual.
You know what? I actually was like, last night I was like, should I watch this? I know I'm gonna fall asleep. I didn't watch it. Sorry.
It's definitely worth watching.
Did you see what I mean when I said it loses steam though?
Yeah, it does.
It loses steam.
It does.
It's a great movie. However, it was advertised or it was publicized or however you want to call it as this like great new groundbreaking. It's not groundbreaking. I'll tell you that much right now.
Well, I watched the preview and I was like, is this the Blair Witch Project?
Thank you. It's very Blair Witch. It's very fucking Blair Witch, and it's not groundbreaking, but it's super enjoyable. Like the end when it starts to pick up again at the end. I don't want to because it's way too early for me to say anything. I will not
it's
spoil.
like
I will not
literally
spoil
just came out on
anything. However, at the end when shit starts going on again and he's upstairs and sets things on fire, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's like the ending is really good. The beginning is really good. The middle is like good, but I found myself like doing my nails and on my phone and
Well, I thought that it was good. It was a good movie, worth the watch. Interesting tone. I I won't spoil anything, but I love the part where the guy was like praying to the wood witch.
Ugh, that's when I texted you and I was like, this movie's so scary.
Yeah, no, that part I thought that part was really fucking cool.
So
that
scary.
part was awesome. But yeah, so the only thing I have to say about it without spoiling it is that just the monster / creature design didn't really sell it for me. But I mean, that's a very minor factor. I mean, there's a lot of factors that what makes a movie, and the style, the location, the filming locations
beautiful.
is the best part of the fucking movie. Like all those scenes,
like this Swedish forest.
God damn
and stuff.
it,
Gorgeous.
Like just like the filming locations is gorgeous. Like I'm obsessed with Norway.
Yeah.
And like just like and
isn't?
Sweden,
Come
Sweden,
on.
like it just like the filming locations are very beautiful, and the acting was amazing.
Acting
the story
was great.
The story was good.
I wanted
it was
more
creepy
blood.
up until I saw the full creature, and then when
Yeah.
I saw the full creature, that's when I was like, yeah, this isn't scary to me.
I wanted more blood. I wanted more gore in a scary way. Like we were talking about earlier. Your Next. You want to bring this around? Your Next was full of blood. A lot of blood doesn't mean something's not scary.
No.
Yeah.
They really didn't do it for me in like the kill department, I guess I'll say.
I think it was
the
more
kills
of,
were like, eh. And once you know,
it was like a
once you-
psychological thing.
Yeah, but even the psychological aspect, I was like, The Ring, the original The Ring, was more psychologically effective than this. I mean, the psychological aspect was even like, yeah, I guess, whatever, it's cool. How many times are they going to replay that same scene?
I know. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Ah, it's too soon.
It was definitely worth watching, though. For sure, I'd watch it. But there are a couple new horror movies that I haven't gotten around to. Like, I mean, it's not even really a horror movie, but I really want to watch The Shape of Water. Like,
Yes.
I've heard amazing things about in The Shape of Water. So I haven't seen that yet. But The Ritual, yeah, definitely watch it. It's definitely worth it just to watch, for sure. And I haven't seen the new Victor Crowley, but I will eventually.
Sweet.
Yeah. All right.
Bach.
Well, we're going to wrap things up, and
Are we ever?
thanks for joining us and listening to us talk about robots and cyborgs.
We
and
like
blah, blah, blah,
robots
blah,
and
blah, 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 blah,
boobies.
and boobies. All right, hope you guys have a good night, and thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.